Now I know right here, these two drivers are what I class as legendary drivers. They're both drivers that I've gamed in the past and absolutely loved. But I'm looking on the internet now and I'm seeing them go for ridiculous prices, and that can only be for one thing. Nobody is buying them. But there's heaps of technology, and I'm sure, right, there's still heaps of distance. So we've got the Aerojet, just previous season old, okay? I gamed this. We've also got the Cobra Rad Speed, which is a year older than the Aerojet. Now look at this, bags of technology in them. As I've just said, I've played these drivers before, but I've never put them in a head-to-head battle until now. So we're gonna hit 3 with the Aerojet, 3 with the Rad Speed, back to 2 with the Aerojet, and 2 with the Rad Speed. What's got the highest ball speed? What's got the longest carry? And I want you to compare this to what you achieve and maybe think about, does my new driver go as far as this? And just think about it. Would you put these in a legendary category? Also, I'm gonna say right now, we're gonna use the exact same shaft in every one of these heads, just to make this as fair as possible. So first up, the Aerojet. Now, you never know. I'm one to potentially do this, right? If these are really good, I could bin off my new 2024 QI10 for them. But in order for me to do that, this has to go a serious distance. So let's get on with hitting this. Oh my God, it's like it never left my hands. How good is that, by the way? Holy mother. Wow, I am over the moon with that. We've got to look at this one straight off the gun. You know what, I'm getting vibes, and I put that driver back down, right? I put it back down, I was like, hello, welcome back into my hands. It's like it never left. It is bizarre how you're sort of bringing back some good drives that I've had with this. I love the weight of that too. Okay, so we had 285 yards total on that, an apex of 88. The numbers I'm really bothered about is ball speed 160, clubhead speed 110, and what was our carry? 263 with a 2625 spin. And I'll be honest, that's right where you want it to be. I always say this on these videos. If you watch regularly, you'll know this. I want an over 110 to 112 clubhead speed, around 160 ball speed, 260 carry, 280 finishes. I did get optimistic at one point when it was a little bit hotter that I wanted 300, but maybe that's off the cards. Maybe it's not. Okay, so this is the 18th. It's a par 5, and if you can smack one down there, it's definitely gettable in 2. The line, the perfect line, you can see the clubhouse, right? Today, it's finishing on the right edge of that clubhouse, just right at the clock tower. That is where I need to finish this to get the most out of it and get it down that fast alley. Oh, a little bit pulley, but that's not too bad. Finishing left edge of the fairway, get a piece in the wind. Oh, not too bad. Big numbers there too. Big numbers. Now, just to remind you here, I have this driver set on 9.5, so I've lofted this down by 1 degree. So let's just talk a little bit of tech about this Aerojet driver. Now, the whole idea of this driver was essentially allowing golfers to swing their fastest, right? You notice on the Aerojet driver, it has and features a raised skirt and symmetrical shaping, streamlined edges to give basically you as much clubhead speed as possible. Now, other features that you had on here was they're saying that it unlocks more and faster ball speed. Forward positioning and fully suspended power bridge weight allows maximum energy transfer to unleash faster ball speeds through unrestricted flexibility of the face and the sole. Wow, look at that fly. Look at that fly. Nice flat flight. That's what I used to like about this driver. That flat flight. Okay, let's look at these numbers right here, because look at the clubhead speed and look at the ball speed. It's creeping up. Now, I know we've only hit 3 shots away with this, but it's now time to take the head off. But have a look at the differences in the style, in the shaping, and a little bit of the differences in technology. This is mad. You never realised what the CNC mill face looked like. You just thought it was normal. Look at this infinity face here raised up. Now compare that to what we had on the Aerojet. Look at the differences. It's crazy, isn't it? CNC mill face, then we had a hot face. We then had a matte finish here on the Rad, and then that real big carbon crown and that sort of frame area here on the Aerojet. So visually, like, a lot different. I also feel this is a smaller style head. This is definitely showing its age and the state of it, right? But if you notice how Cobra over the years have gone, let's say, into more traditional colours. Like, look, the big green, garish colours into the whites, and then this year in the dark speed, the black. Now, really weirdly, look, you can tell I don't change much. I've got the 12-gram weight at the back in the Rad Speed 2. Okay, let's change this head. I've got my key right here. What I'm actually interested in is, what does that CNC mill face feel like? Because I've not hit one in 2 generations, and actually now this year, I have the carbon head. I am going to loft this down so they're both 9.5, just to make this test fair. And from memory, I think I did that anyway, when I actually played the Rad Speed for a year or so. So yeah, I think I did that, so that's not too much difference. Right, plonk that on the floor. Here we go. Dirty on the -1 there, look. There we go. All the other numbers are blooming white. Pop this on. All right, I'm intrigued to see what this looks like down behind the ball, the matte finish. I think most drivers now have gone away from that. I think the dark speed just all dark, as in fully blacked out. Right, that's on. Yeah, that looks different. You know, it looks smaller. What I do like about this, and it's coming back to me now, is those green outer edges. Sort of, I don't know, gives it a bit of a pop of colour against that matte finish. What really sticks out to me is that infinity face, that top edge, where the face meets the crown. I'm really intrigued to see what distance you get. We all get told we need a new driver every year to get the distance back. This is, I'm going to say 3 years old now, yeah? What numbers do we get? Are we around that 160 ball speed? Are we around that 260, 270 carry? Do we get into the 280s? Remember, we're going to get the averages of each of these drivers that, for me, they're both legendary, and I'm not sure which one is going to go further. It'd be weird if this one did. We're going to hit 3-away with this one, and then hit the last 2 with the Aerojet, and the last 2 with this afterwards. Here we go. Gold ball number 1. Oh, yes! Look at that flight! Look at it! That's long, you know that. Ooh. That is surprising. That was ripped as well. That was so good hit. I like that launch. That felt very, very nice. Tell you what, it is windy out here today. So 2,888 spin, 252 yards of carry. This is surprising me. 158.2 ball speed and 109.7 club head speed. So initial thoughts after that first one, I was surprised at that. I thought that was going to be a little bit further. At the minute, the Aerojet just has this, but we know we've got to hit a couple more just to get the average. So let's just go through a bit of this tech. And you know what? When this first came out, everybody was like, whoa. And when we're going through this tech, I think this might be one of the reasons why you want to put maybe one of these drivers in your bag. So let's go through some of the tech on the Cobra Rad Speed driver. Now, it's a traditionally size-shaped head at 460cc. Now, what's really interesting that you notice a difference, and we picked this out before, you have ability to change these weights around. So you could put the 12-gram weight towards the front and the 2-gram weight towards the back, making it a more low spinning to more high spinning, and then therefore more forgiving and less forgiving. We also feature a CNC milled infinity face that Cobra say delivers a thinner face for maximum ball speed. Now right now, I'm not quite seeing that ball speed with this particular driver. Other things that we've got to fully note here is that it has a forward biased radial weighting to appeal to, I guess, a better seeking low spin, low launch and high workability player. So I guess a better golfer with a higher club head speed, which I guess makes it quite interesting, doesn't it? Look at all the drivers in 2024, how we're looking for bigger head, more forgiveness. You're going to hit it straighter. The idea behind this one was completely the opposite. Okay, 3rd ball away. That was so good. That was so good. I can't hit a driver better than that. It doesn't feel any difference off the face, to be fair. It really, really doesn't. I couldn't tell you the difference if I'm honest. Now we got a little more out of this one. 258 carry, 2,700 spin, and what's that ball speed? I'm interested about this. Ball speed, oh, flick past it, sorry. 160.6. Now, something that's really intrigued me is consistently my club head speed with this driver has been 1 to 1.5 miles an hour slower than what I was getting with the Aerojet. I guess the whole idea of the Aerojet was more streamlined, more club head speed, more carbon on that as well, which definitely would give you a lighter, well, not lighter, well, it would be lighter, but it would give you a better chance of getting increased club head speed. Okay, we're now back to hitting the last two with the Aerojet and the last two with the Rad Speed. This is all coming back to me here about this shape. I remember when I first got this driver, I didn't like this bit here. I was thinking, why have they just not put carbon all over the head? Why have they cut it off here? But then after hitting a few drives, it really did sort of grow on me. I like that distinct look of having no sort of infinity face. I was never a huge fan of that, if I'm being honest. Now let's talk price point. You can pick one of these legendary ones up, so the Aerojet, for around £250, right? Brand new as well, might add. And you can get the Rad Speed for $199. So what I'm thinking right now, data's got to support this. We need to find that out after I fit these two and two with the Rad Speed. But I'm thinking this is more of an all-rounder for everybody. Definitely the idea of the technology is that way. And then the Rad Speed is more of a low spinning model for higher swing speed. So if you want a cheaper but brand new low spinning model, that could be right up your street. Okay, two left with this one and two with the Rad Speed.
So let's whittle through these last few shots. And this is the fourth drive with the Aerojet driver. Now what's really bizarre, it feels like I was just using this driver yesterday. Now I know I used this driver for a prolonged period of time, but it really just feels so familiar. And I have to say, I love the flight. I think that reflects in the consistency. Okay, so let's hit drive number 4 with the Rad Speed. Again, I can't argue with this. They both are very, very consistent. But I have to say one thing. I do prefer the look of the Aerojet down behind the golf ball. As I said, when I first looked at the Aerojet, I wasn't keen on it, but it grew on me. The matte look to the top of this club makes it feel a little smaller. It's now time to look at all this data. And I'll be honest, there is one clear winner. Let's look through these results. Aerojet on the left, Rad Speed on the right, 160.5 ball speed for the Aerojet, and 157.8 for the Rad Speed. That's pretty much 3 miles an hour difference. Now look what that gave me difference in distance. Remember, this is carry. 268 down to 244.6. Now a huge contributing factor for this was the lack of spin, and weirdly, the lack of club head speed. Now remember, I had the same shaft, I lofted them to the same loft, the only difference was the technology inside the head. Now, as we read through the technology on the Rad Speed, we do know the weighting on that driver is meant for a more low-spinning head. But the way I had it set up was, I guess, to make it more forgiving. But the data just doesn't support it for me. There is only one winner in this legendary driver competition right here for Cobra, and it has to be Aerojet. Don't you agree?
Okay, there we have it, the full test of these legendary drivers. If you're looking for a low spin model, this could be up your street, but as an all-rounder that I'd recommend to anybody, it has to be this one. Thanks for watching.